It is, what time is it, Carl?
It's 7 o'clock.
And what happens at 7 o'clock on every single Sunday, regardless of our lives?
Well, you're always ready to rock, and I'm like,
You're pretty ambivalent towards the rock, aren't you? Yeah.
Up and rolling now.
It is, of course, the Awkward Turkey Podcast. Welcome back. How have you been this week? It's brilliant, please.
Been a while.
Yeah, please.
7 days.
7 days, yeah. Craig David.
Yeah, you got holes in your t-shirt.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Believe it or not, it actually makes the t-shirt more expensive. I looked at it in the shop and I went, that's going to be affordable because it's got holes in it. Turns out not.
Started smoking again.
Yep. Oh, I tell you what, I did an audition self-tape the other day. And it was for a really, really cool film. And I haven't got it. But what was really cool was one of the bits in the self-tape was I had to smoke a cigarette. I was like, brilliant. Absolutely fabulous. It was
It was for Absolutely Fabulous.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Just me and Jennifer Saunders. Is it Jennifer Saunders? I can't remember her name. Who's
Joanna
in it?
Lumley.
Joanna Lumley. Me and Joanna Lumley.
Is the other one? I don't know. I never watched it.
No, I think it's French and Saunders is the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Vicar of
Joanna
Dibley.
Lumley.
No, thanks.
Who is Joanna Lumley and who?
The other one.
That's going to annoy me now all day.
Is it? I mean, we could Google it, but let's not.
No.
Anyway,
in tonight's episode, I'll just shout the name out.
Anyway, I got to smoke a cigarette. It was light a cigarette, take one drag, sip of vodka, and then deliver the line.
Did you drink vodka or water?
It was water because it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and even though I'm a little.
Mate, you still get your fox up in the background.
Yeah, I have.
The noise. What noise does the fox make? That noise.
Yeah, brilliant. Hark back to a previous episode or one in the future, depending on which way we've released what we've shot today. Nobody knows. So I got to smoke a cigarette, and it was delicious. And
congratulations.
And I wish I still smoked because it tastes fantastic and it's good for my skin and it doesn't hurt me at all. It's just the government spinning me a line. I don't mean that at all. Don't smoke. It was the best thing I ever did to give up, but God, do I miss it. What have we got coming up on today's show?
Today we have two little things. We have my friend, fellow musician, Olly Harding, who plays drums for a bunch of people. Really
big bands. He's played for ELO and Carrie Underwood, and he plays for the Shires, doesn't he? He's a really he's the go-to drummer. Would you say? Yeah,
he's a nice guy. He knows his shit. And then we've also, so we're gonna have a little chat with him, and then we've also got a friend of the family now, Adam West, popping on. He doesn't know it yet, but he does look at his phone 24/7, hoping Tom's text him with a Zoom link. So we've got him popping on to talk about something that we all did with some football shirts from the Shocker Aid episode.
A really nice thing. So that's cool. That's coming up. I tell you what, because we've got a couple of guests on, and because we know how long the interview we've just done is.
Bants.
Because we've got a couple of guests on, shall we jump into our first guest, Mr. Olly Harding, and we'll see everybody in like 5 seconds after this little sting has played.
Yeah.
Sting is a word for that little thing that plays in between.
Yeah, he's also in the police.
Podcast. He is. Apparently, he likes tantric sex. I read Vogue magazine once. Olly Harding, everybody, on the Awkward Turkey Podcast. Okay, so he's played shows at Wembley, supported ELO, Tom Jones and Carrie Underwood, and is the backbeat of UK country band The Shires. Please welcome to the Awkward Turkey Podcast, session drummer extraordinaire. It is, of course, Olly Harding.
Hello.
A big intro that was, wasn't it?
Thank you.
It's okay.
Bloody hell.
Wikipedia has been kind to you.
Also, I know I kind of said it to you earlier, but did you go to the same shop as me to buy your plants, Olly?
No, this is my girlfriend got this from Columbia Road in London.
Is it real?
Is it real? Mine are not real.
It was like half the size, I think, and now it's a bit of a beast.
Oh, it's quite a plant you've got there.
Someone said to me the other day, they went, what is your podcast about? If you could summarize it for me. And I went, well, I don't know. We kind of talk about lots of different things. Now we've gone into gardening. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Everyone loves a good Wyvale story, don't they?
Do you know, I used to work at Wyvale.
For real?
For real. I used to carry bags of compost from like wherever it was in the garden centre to old ladies' cars. And they paid me £2.50 an hour. I'm pretty sure it was illegal. Pretty sure it was illegal for them to do it. So 10 hours would net me a cool £25.
Wow. Was the dirt that you were taking to the old ladies' cars to like
that sounds like a euphemism. Sorry. Sounds like a euphemism. Was the dirt you were carrying to the old ladies' cars what?
Nothing. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
So
Brilliant.
Olly, welcome to the podcast.
So for people who are watching the show who aren't massively familiar with Olly, obviously I read the intro. Brilliant intro at the beginning. Well done, Carl.
You're welcome, world.
For when we introduced Olly. But obviously Olly is a very, very accomplished drummer. What age did you first, I want to say, pick up the sticks? I don't know if that's a thing. Is that a thing? What age did you first pick up the wood? What age did?
Yeah. When I was 7, actually, my dad is a guitarist, and I used to go and watch his sort of band practices and stuff. And I was always just fascinated with the drummer and always wanted to have a go on a kit. So that's sort of where I probably first, played the drums, was just in a band practice, just messing around on a kit. And then I was lucky enough for my dad to borrow a drum kit off one of his bandmates, and sort of went from there. Yeah.
And so tell me, at what age do you realize I'm better than most other like friends that are, like, did you do drums in school or anything?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I was going to say I haven't got to that stage yet.
I just imagined like 15-year-old Carl coming home and going, Mum, I think I've worked out that I am better than everybody else.
No.
How can I monetize this?
Like, so at what point did you realize, I think like I want to do this, and I'm potentially good enough to be a drummer?
Yeah, more than a hobby, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he put it so much nicer than I did. I was kind of like, at what age were you just better than others? What age did you realize people are going to pay me lots of money for this?
I think when I got to sort of high school, I sort of started taking it a bit more seriously, sort of, 14, 15. I'd done the grades, and it was like, right, you do that. And then it was like, what do you do after this sort of thing? And my dad was always really supportive, and he rang around a few people, and they sort of recommended that I go to a teacher up in Manchester. So I think when I was 15, I started traveling up there every couple of weeks for drum lessons. And that's when it really got serious. And it was like, this isn't a hobby anymore. This is like like a sports player sort of training. That's what it sort of turned into a little bit.
Yeah.
It's an interesting moment, and we'll have all had it at various different times. But was there a point, and I can remember mine, and it wasn't with music, but there was a point where you went, oh wow, this is now like a full-time job? Because there's always that point where you have to have another job, and then music is just something you really enjoy, and it is a hobby to some people, and it is a hobby that they take very seriously, but it's not their main source of income. And then there's that lovely balance tipping moment where you go, oh, I can do this. Like this can be my job.
Do you want to know
now.
something awful? I've never had a proper job, ever. I've never done anything.
I mean, that's quite an achievement.
I told you my Wyvale story.
Like, yeah, I've never worked in Wyvale delivering dirty bags to old women. I've never. So like, yeah, from 14, I guess I was earning money, acting and singing. I never had a job.
Yeah, but there must have. I suppose
I missed out. I think on a lot as well by not having a proper job, and I think I missed out on a lot by not going to uni because I was already working, and like I never went to drama college because I already had the agent that you go to drama college to get. So I missed out on loads of life experiences through looking back, through kind of working. But what else do you do if you're earning money? You go with it, don't you?
Yeah, well, I think well, what you're just on it's like a different path, isn't it? And there's no sort of right path to go down. I know a lot of people sort of say, oh, you need to go to uni to do this, but you need to go to uni to do that. But it's not true. You can be successful in your own way without sort of following the sort of.
So did you go to uni?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my reason for going to uni was maybe a little bit different to a lot of other people, because I was having lessons with my drum teacher who taught at the uni, and the stuff I was doing when I was a bit, probably 16, 17, was what he was teaching at the uni. So he was kind of like, you don't really need to go
right
and pay the money to do this. But I was from a tiny little town in Wales where I was like the only person my age who was like taking music seriously. So I needed a network of people who were the same age as me and had the same interests as me, in order to like grow as a musician. Otherwise, I think I would still be sort of living in a little town in mid Wales, not really, achieving what I feel I should be.
Yeah.
We had a guest on, probably it was last year now, an actor called Kyle, and when we were talking to him, he said a similar sort of thing. He said when he was in his, ironically from Wales as well, but when he was
he's from Patal, but
from in his little town, he said, I was the only person who was, sort of taking it seriously or getting, opportunities to do these roles. He said, and then he moved to London, and it does, you have to up your game, because if you're from somewhere where you're like I live in a tiny little village, I'm pretty sure I'm the only actor that lives here or the only musician. But when you go to London and you're surrounded with people who are, you know what I mean, it'd be like being a footballer in a little town and then going and playing, professionally. You have to up your game, and I think it's good to surround yourself with other people like that, because you might be the best drummer from your town in wherever it is in Wales, but then when you're in London, it's like, right, okay, this is where the standard is, where everybody's taking it seriously. So I kind of get the point for uni, but I also kind of get the point for not going to uni. You know what I mean? I didn't go.
I kind of wish I went to uni. I got to be honest.
But I'm the same. I was the same as you, Carl, because I did. I think I went to college for a year, and I got an agent halfway through, 9 months into the first year, and the agent just went, "The point of this is at the end of your 3-year course, you do a performance, and I sign you." He's like, "I've signed you now. You don't need to stay and do this." And I remember having that conversation with my mum and going, I'm going to leave college because this guy, you know what I mean?
And also you're not allowed, if you go to like RADA and stuff like that, you're not allowed an agent while you're at RADA.
No. So it was a difficult call to make. But
so you have to decide whether I've got the agent, and it, like for me, my agent was in Covent Garden, big agency, had a big roster of actors that were working actors, film and TV. And I would either then have to go to someone like RADA, and because that's where my friends were going, and decide, so I'm gonna, or Welsh College of Music or whatever it would have been, and leave the agency for a couple of years, and hope when I come out they're still looking for someone that looks like me and does the kind of roles that I fit for their roster, kind of thing.
What's the best gig you ever played? And it doesn't have to be because it was the biggest. It doesn't have to be for that reason. But what's the one that sticks out in your head as that was an incredible show?
We played with the Shires, which is the country duo I play with. We were doing a headline tour 3 years ago, and the main show in London was the Royal Albert Hall.
Wow.
We were booked to play that, and that was just part of the tour. And then during the tour, a date came in the day after to play on Radio 2 for the royal wedding.
As you do.
Yeah, it wasn't at the actual wedding, but it was in the grounds of where the wedding was, on like a little bandstand with Ricky from the Kaiser Chiefs as like
my mate Tom
shop sort of thing.
Is he your mate?
No, not anymore.
What? Oh yeah.
So it was a bit crazy, but we literally played this headline show at the Royal Albert Hall, which for me was like the biggest gig, because it was like it was the Shire's main show, so everyone was there to watch them, and it was a sellout. And then we literally had to shoot straight from there to a hotel and then get up at 4 a.m. and then go and do this early
Wow.
show with Chris Evans for the royal wedding. And it was just like that evening I just sat down with like a pint and I was like, oh my goodness, that was just like the most mental 24 hours of my life. So I think that as that always sticks out in my mind. It wasn't like the biggest gigs we've done, but it was just like the whole experience of those sort of 2 days was great.
That's awesome.
I'm a massive ELO fan, right? A really big Jeff Lynne fan. What was that like? Because that's like a legendary artist. And I think like maybe I'm completely wrong, but he seems like the type of person that isn't all that like fussed about backstage etiquette and stuff. It's probably like, I imagine it to be a really nice gig to play.
Yeah, he's super chill. Like we did 2 shows with him. We did one in Hull and then we did the one in London. And I met him on the London one. And yeah, he's just super chilled and really relaxed. And like,
yeah. And he's worked with everyone.
Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah, but like those sort of old rock stars, I think they're all sort of known for that. Just like chilled out. They don't really put themselves up there like the rest of us do, if you know what I mean. But yeah, those shows were crazy, like biggest shows I think I've ever done.
And going from the nicest musician, who's the biggest dick?
Yeah, who's the biggest dick?
Come on.
Oh, I don't know.
You can't be a nice guy here. If it's someone that will get you in trouble, we'll bleep it. But just tell.
I'm trying to think who it is, but I don't really know. I haven't really come across many that have not at that sort of level.
Yeah.
Have you ever played drums for Who's Molly? Because they are.
There it is.
I haven't had the pleasure.
That won't go in the show, or maybe it will. Should we play a quick game of Would You Rather, Carl?
Yes, let's do it. So we do this with every guest that we have. And it is literally, well, as it said, would you rather? So we're going to give you 2 options. You have to pick the best option for you in your life and the most serious option that suits you the most. Tom, kick us off.
Okay. Would you rather be forced to listen to the same 10 songs on repeat for the rest of your life, or forced to watch the same 5 movies on repeat for the rest of your life? Is this, sorry, Carl, because you wrote this one. Is the song just playing forever in my head, or when I listen to music?
No, so you can't listen to
any
music. Do you have 10 songs and that's it forever?
Or 5 movies?
Or 5 movies and that's it forever. So anything new that comes out, if the new Avengers comes out, whatever.
I was just thinking, because Fast and Furious, there's 9. I wouldn't even get the franchise.
You can only get up to number 5 and you've got to stop. You never know what happens when Dwayne The Rock Johnson comes into the fucking franchise.
Listen, mate, I would, because I'd skip that Tokyo Drift one. It went a bit shit.
Yeah, I'd go 1, 2, 4, 7, 8 probably.
Yeah. Sorry, Ollie.
Can you choose, or is someone choosing?
You can pick the 10 songs and you can pick the 5 movies, yeah. Right, well, not cruel, Ollie.
I think I'd go with
Savages.
I've got flexibility over the music.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I can pick 5 movies that I could watch on repeat, and then I can listen to whatever music I want.
I think I would choose the same.
I think I'd be out of a job if I couldn't listen to any other music.
Yeah, I can't play tonight's gig.
Yeah, I don't know the songs. I only know 10.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Would you rather live without a fork forever or live without a knife forever?
Fork.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Couldn't do without a knife, could you?
No, because knives are a lot more versatile than forks.
How are you going to cut through that steak, innit? After that massive gig.
If you've cooked the steak properly, you shouldn't need to cut it.
Shut up, you fucking
But also, knives aren't just cutlery, are they?
No, you can kill someone with one as well.
Yeah,
pretty sure they end lives, yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, you can kill someone with a knife, Ollie, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Okay. I didn't write these this week, but it looks by this point that Carl had gone in a different direction.
I'd given up on life.
Gone in a different direction. Okay. Would you rather get your wisdom teeth pulled or your arse pierced?
Oh, I thought this was a really good one because I had my wisdom tooth taken out last year.
It's the worst thing in the world.
It's the worst pain in the world.
that happens once though, doesn't it? Your wisdom tooth, like you're having it done once and it hurts for like what 48 hours, and then you're
not having your butt pierced all the time though.
No, but you have to use it,
twice, 2 times a day sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going with wisdom tooth.
All right, cool.
Going with wisdom teeth. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you rather have to read aloud every word that you see, right? Or every time someone says, "Bye, Ollie," you have to go, "Goodbye," and sing goodbye? Or would you rather read every word? Have to read aloud every word. So say you walked past, anything.
No, there's worse than that, mate. If you open an email or a text message that contains particularly sensitive information and you're in a room full of people, how bad would that be?
If you walked up to the bar, you'd have to order every tap that you saw.
Yeah.
Because you'd just go, Foster's. What do you want? Carling. What do you want?
San Miguel.
Thatcher's. Yeah, it would be hard.
I think I'd do the goodbye because it's quite funny, actually, especially when you do it, Carl. I quite.
Yeah, you can have that one, Ollie.
Yeah.
You can take that one with you. You're welcome.
I'll sample it.
Don't say I never gave you anything in life.
All right, we're at the business end now. At the business end.
Okay.
Drummers or bass players?
Ooh. Bass players.
Singers or guitarists?
Guitarists.
Tom Jones or Jeff Lynne?
Tom Jones.
Fair.
Tom
Carl. No, we want that one.
And Tordek. Ollie, thanks so much for joining us on the Awkward Turkey podcast. I hope that you haven't gone too insane in your isolation period, and I hope you don't have to do it again with another little ping from the NHS app, and you are back out working really, really soon. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, mate.
Tom, I got one more question.
Do you?
Yeah. If you could go back to your 17-year-old self, Ollie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago that was, like 3 years ago or something.
10 years.
If you could go back and you could only give yourself 3 words of advice, what would it be? We've started doing it. We did it in the last couple of episodes. So we started doing this. So would you like to hear mine? And I'll let you know what mine was. Okay. Mine was buy some Bitcoin.
That's a good one.
Mine was buy Apple stock, but yeah.
I think I'd say something like save more money, yeah.
Like you've got
you can say anything to yourself.
Wealth of information. You've just met your 17-year-old self. He's gone, oh my God, it's you from the future. What can you tell me? You can tell him anything
give any
at all.
Advice. You know everything you already know, and your advice to yourself would be save more money.
I was listening to what you guys were saying, and I was thinking, well,
delete NHS app.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, yeah, probably would be something money related.
Well, there we are then.
It's always helpful, isn't it? Something money related.
Brilliant.
Imagine just that meeting. Just what have you got? What information? What wonders have you got from the future?
My God,
what can you tell me?
He's going to tell us something that happened in the future that we really don't know.
Something money related.
Isn't.
Ollie,
top job.
Best one we've had yet. I don't know if we can we all say goodbye in the way that we now need to say goodbye because we've all picked that one?
Goodbye.
Olly Harding, everybody, on the Awkward Turkey podcast. Thank you, mate.
Very much. Cheers.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much, Ollie. What a lovely guest, Carl.
Yeah, no, he's a top lad.
Lovely guest that we've had on the show. And you'll notice as we come out of that segment that myself and Carl, we're not alone like we were before that segment started, because he's back. He's part of the furniture. If that furniture is a heavy piece of paving stone that is then placed on your dead body after he's murdered you, it is, of course, podcast favourite, Sir Adam of Westcott. Adam, how are you?
Hello. The other day, I helped a duckling back into the water, and I didn't want any credit for it, but the whole of Dawlish saw it, so that was my kind of little moment.
I think we got this week's episode title there.
So what happened was, obviously, there's a little arcade there. Dawlish is a small little town, and there's ducks and swans just kind of part of the furniture as well. And one of these little ducklings has kind of got lost, and he's in the middle of the road. So I've like stopped traffic, kind of ushering the duck. Didn't want to get too close. I thought it might have a little nibble on the hand, ushering it, and it wasn't having it. It was trying to run into the direction of the traffic. So I'm like, stop. Anyway, got it back in, ushered it in, and everyone loved it because it was nothing vicious.
This guy's quackers.
Did the whole of Dawlish give you a round of applause?
If you mean the whole of Dawlish, as in like the 4 people that watched me, then yes. One of them gave me message. Let me just put that on silent.
Unprofessional.
A few people said put the thumbs up, and I wasn't looking for it really. It was more of like the quenching of the soul.
Also, Ad, you about 5 minutes before we started rolling, you said to me, "Am I okay? Because I look like I'm in rehab."
No, it's just the way. What happened was, it's the way
Explain
that
to the people at home.
No, you were just kind of sat there. The camera paused, and it was like you were diving into a pack of crisps, like it was your first ever packet of crisps, and you kind of looked a bit like startled, and
Bit like
you looked like you'd just been on a 12 gram.
Oh,
But you're not, obviously. You're fine. You're in Ibiza, aren't
Thanks,
you?
bro.
It does look like he's
Thanks
going
for
to be
that. Thanks.
I do dive into every packet of crisps as if they are my first packet of crisps. There is something about a packet of crisps where, I have a mouthful of crisps and I'm not finished with it, but I'm already planning the next mouthful in my hand because I want that many crisps.
Do you make crisp sandwiches?
I love a crisp sandwich.
Yes, definitely.
Something banging about a crisp sandwich. Prawn cocktail is really good in a crisp sandwich.
Oh, back in the day, Monster Munch, not in a sandwich, but in a sandwich was prawn cocktail, salt and vinegar, hula hoops.
Ad, are you old enough to remember? Well, yes, you are, because you're about 2 years older than Tom. To remember crisps that you had salt. Well, describe it, Tom. I don't know.
I said because we were. I don't know if it was the previous episode, but we were talking about
before,
ready salted crisps, and I said I remember when you could buy ready salted crisps, but you could also buy plain crisps that came with a little sachet of salt in there.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
I can't believe that's a thing.
Yeah, but they were kind of like, they were in my teenage years, I think. That was like the mid,
You boys sound like
early
mid
90s, late 90s. But no one ever really went for them. Like when, in our household, you just got the variety pack. You had a couple of prawn cocktails, a couple of cheese and onion.
Got your prawns, got your cheese and onion, everything.
Something.
Yeah.
In my household, we just had the variety pack. Anyway, slightly off topic from what we were talking about before, but we have just as this is recorded, obviously not when it goes out, but we've just given away our Shocker A t-shirts in a charity auction for cancer research, and it was really good. Really, really good. And boys, we raised far more than I ever thought we were going to. I thought maybe we might get sort of 25, 30 quid, which is still a great sum of money to give to charity, but we had some crazy bids.
Yeah,
crazy bids.
So yours ad went to Liz Wiseman for £130.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz.
Mine went to Claire Ball for £160.
Amazing. And mine made up the rest, 200 and something quid to make it 550 quid.
It's it's really cool. Really, really cool.
Like, in all fairness, we tried to, I know we talked about this on the live, but we tried to do it in a couple of different ways, didn't we? We tried to, obviously, you get a lot of money instantly by someone going, I'll give you £130 for the shirt, I'll give you £150, £160, whatever it is. But obviously, there's a lot of people that can't afford to do that. So then we also tried to do a tenner a ticket. You buy a ticket, you go into a raffle.
And then
we did a wheel, didn't we?
Yeah, like a spinny wheel, and it picked someone at random. So, yeah, I think it worked. I think it really worked. And I think it's something like further down the road, we'll pick a different cause when we do something next time. And
Shockerade numero 2.
Number 2.
Definitely.
So anyway, just moving away from raising money for cancer. Adam, you told me a story on the phone the other day about a dog that wouldn't stop shitting. Can I segue?
Say it last bit again, sorry.
Can I segue from cancer research into a dog with diarrhea?
What about if you say something like,
podcast.
say Adam's got an amusing story about a dog?
No.
Okay, so
that's what the real people want to. That's what the real fans want to hear about.
They don't want to hear how much money we raised for cancer research. They want to hear about Adam with a very, very small dog that won't stop pooing. Let's play Pictionary.
Take it away, Ad.
Okay. So a couple of years ago, I was there was a local artist, and kind of got chatting and came up with this formula of, like, I'm going to play music and she will interpret it, she'll paint it, and it was really good. It was really, really good. It was kind of like,
Ad, just a minute. I can do that for you.
Do you think?
Just a sec. Let me just hum a tune for me.
Okay,
I've got something. It's just the words, you shit. Oh, hang on. Hum me a little bit more.
Can't believe he didn't draw his normal. Pixelate that, please.
There we go. Yeah, sorry. I cut you off.
We've got together and we've got several paintings. They are really good and very, very different. Anyway, one of our friends says, I've got an art gallery up north. Do you want to come up and we'll do something there? So we trek up there. It's a good 5-hour journey. And that's long enough for anyone, let alone a tiny little
drive?
dog. I didn't. She did. It's her and her husband.
Of course she. Because Adam don't drive himself.
He did famously say to me once, he said, Tom, some people are born to drive, whereas Westy, and he pointed at himself and made quotation marks, Westy, he's made to be driven.
Like the legend that he is.
I definitely said that. So it's her and her husband driving. Anyway, we get there and the dog is not feeling very well. It's obviously got travel sickness, car sickness. So it's a little bit ill and everyone's going, oh, poor dog. And so it looks like a little lamb. Anyway, the dog continues to be ill.
Describe being ill. How is it being ill?
Well, it's being sick the front and it's got a bit of diarrhea at the back.
That's what you want at an art gallery, isn't it?
Yeah. So instead of just allowing the dog to be, cool down, maybe put it in cold water on it, spray it with cold water, let it be, this person decides that this is the best time to feed it an egg. Right?
To try and bind its tummy to make it feel better. They think that it's gonna.
So
whenever I've been ill, the last thing I want is eggs.
Milk is the worst thing. People try to feed you milk when you're being sick. It's the worst thing ever. Anyway, sorry, I'd go on.
They've give it an egg.
Give it an egg, and surprise, surprise, the dog is shat everywhere. And it's just like arse-spraying mayhem. The dog is going mad. And the dog is looking at me as if to say, Adam, can you help me, please? And it's just there and it's going everywhere and it's being sick at the front, sick at the back. And everyone's going, how has this happened? Well, you fed it an egg. You gave the dog an egg.
Do you sell any paintings?
It's the best thing I've ever heard. And I've heard that story twice.
And this little thing, it's just kind of dying on the floor. And it's just like there, and it's been sick at the front. It's lying on the floor now, and it's coming up the back. And I'm thinking, this poor dog, And then
as you sat there and then went.
Then you played him "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yeah. And then take the dog back to the house, and then it slept it off. But I mean, God, it lost about 5 kilograms, and it's just mad. I just don't get why you would say, dog's been ill, it's hot, it's a hot summer's day, it's already been sick, an egg will help. An egg will definitely help.
Can we please, Final Instinct, if you're watching, because I will forget, can you please, I will buy it. I don't care how much it costs. But can we get Adam a T-shirt that just says "an egg will help?" ? On the back of it.
Ready, eggy, sick.
Oh dear. So the dog was okay though, yeah.
the dog was okay. It survived, but I did feel for it. Yeah.
And was that happening while you were at the art gallery, or was that?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And did anybody?
paintings?
Did you sell many paintings?
I didn't think. Funny enough, we didn't sell any.
Yeah.
But
Because somebody walked past and went, "That looks shit," and you went, "No, that actually is."
Yeah. Yeah, that, and then for another 5.5 hour journey back, and the dog's in the back with me, and it's got the window down, and it's just, that was too much for it.
Is there a moral to that story? If you could tell anybody else who's thinking of taking a small dog with a very, very upset stomach to an art exhibition that is also accompanied by flamenco guitar, so I understand that's quite niche. But if somebody is in that scenario, what would be your advice or the moral?
I'd say don't feed it an egg.
That's what I wanted.
Stay away from eggs.
Sorry, Final Instinct. Can I change my order to the t-shirt? I just wanted to say stay away from eggs.
Thinking behind it, I just can't get it. And no one said, I said, it's not a good idea. It's don't feed it an egg. Don't feed it an egg. Like, that's an opposite thing to do. Let it just calm down. Let it be in the cool. Let it be in the shade. Give it some water. Feed it an egg. An egg.
We should have an egg counter for how many times Adam said egg. Here it is.
Feed it an egg. An egg will definitely help. You gave the dog an egg. Feed it an egg. Don't feed it an egg. Give it an egg. An egg will help. Stay away from eggs. Don't feed it an egg. Well, you fed it an egg. Don't feed it an egg. An egg. How is that a solution?
You do these
How is
things,
that a
Tom.
solution?
You just give yourself work.
Oh, I've given myself half an hour with that, yeah, 100%. But it would be worth it just to hear him go, egg, egg, egg. Do we need him? Why'd you give him an egg, an egg, an egg? It'd be great. It'd be great. I tell you where eggs are necessary.
Where?
In that cake that Adam Westcott made. Here it is.
10 out of 10 and year 9. You have a laugh?
Adam, would you like at some point, genuinely, because it's easy to do like this, a little Zoom, and we can get another full bacon episode out of it. Would you like to try and redeem yourself?
Oh, we haven't even talked about this.
Yeah,
this isn't even prepped.
Genuinely, would you like to try and do one more and just redeem it? Maybe this time we do a chocolate cake. It's a bit warm right now, isn't it? But
I think the people would like to see another Bake Off. I think it was a very successful podcast, and
Fake Off, the Great British Fake Off.
Fake Off. Yeah, I'd be up for
Can't
that.
use the other words because copyright.
Yeah.
How about we work out something where maybe what about a Christmas cake? Something like that. We make a Christmas cake, or I'm trying to think of.
It's fucking July, Tom.
Yeah, not Christmas cake, chocolate
I don't
cake.
think this one's going out till the end of September. How about in the comments below, people throw a suggestion of something that they think that we could bake cake-wise. Do we make it difficult for ourselves this time?
I think a chocolate cake.
Is a chocolate cake hard though?
I think so.
Yeah, well, but look, I need to up my game now because mine was very good.
It was good.
I need to go up a level. The fact that you kind of made white chocolate in your Victoria sponge.
Yeah, but not intentionally. Let's have a look at it again.
10 out of 10 and year 9. Gibbo!
That was
the first episode we were introduced to Gibbo.
That was one of the funniest ones that we've done. Like, we laughed a lot when we did Soccer Aid, but not anywhere near as much as we did when we did Bake Off. That was a lot of fun to film.
All right, boys, I got an idea. An idea has popped into the head.
What's the head mean?
The head.
Cool.
For our 50th episode, which is coming up pretty soon,
Shucks.
why don't we, to try and give Adam a chance to redeem himself, why don't we all do a bake-off, like a small bake-off episode. So we make it like a 50th cake to congratulate ourselves once again, pat ourselves on the back for reaching 50 episodes. It is quite a milestone.
It's a massive milestone.
Yeah, definitely.
50 weeks of the podcast, 51 if you count 4.5. And we do another bake-off thing in our houses, and then we get together
and eat the cakes.
Yeah, or we get together and watch the footage and talk about, and we chat about it together in the same room, like a goggle box 50th episode, baking a cake.
Right. Okay. I'm as somebody would say if they'd fallen over. I'm down with that. I'm down.
Down with the right. Okay. Cool. Down with the kids.
Adam.
Yeah.
It is a chance to redeem yourself. Before you tell us if
redeem
you're
himself from what, Tom?
This.
10 out of 10 and year 9. Never gets old, does it?
No. Adam, are you in with that? You down with that?
Definitely. I think it's a really, really good idea. Yeah, down with that.
Yeah, it's okay. That's what we're doing for the 50th episode, boys. We will be baking a cake. And then we'll be getting together to talk about that. That seems pretty good. I mean, we did throw around the idea of having Carol Vorderman on for our 50th episode.
We did, and maybe we say that for 100.
Maybe Carol judges the cakes.
Who does judge the cakes on those shows?
It's Paul
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Boys, I wonder if we could tweet them a picture of it and try and get a response.
Oh,
I wonder if enough of our listeners and viewers would go on to Twitter. I'll put the tweet together because of the tick.
Can you potentially just use one particular image when you're asking them to judge?
What do you mean?
Well, so if you put together the tweet, what image?
Yeah.
This.
10 out of 10 and year 9. The gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, ask them. See what Hollywood thinks of that.
Okay, so let's.
Well, I don't know if he'll respond to the tweet or Mary Berry. Is it Mary Berry? No.
I think we just tweet them all. Let's try and get them to judge our previous cakes before we bake some new ones. That'd be brilliant. That would.
Are you going to send them my masterpiece first, as like a dummy, and see if they respond, or you just want to leave it to the 50th?
We're going to put all the photos together and send and ask them to pick a winner.
Okay.
Shall I tell you who it's not going to be?
Who's it not going to be, Tom?
10 out of 10 and year 9. You never know, boys. I've got a reason now to improve and to come back with a vengeance.
Listen, if it's anything like the Shockerade episode, this podcast will end, and Adam will go into what he will class as intense training for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, his Instagram stories will just be filled with him melting chocolate, baking chocolate.
And then at week 6, he'll just look like Scarface covered in white flour on his floor, just going, I can't make it work. Why does it keep sinking?
Say hello to my little friend.
There was something quite enjoyable about watching 3 grown men use whisks on that episode. We were like,
I loved it that you washed the whisk.
I didn't know what I was doing, mate. I finished the first stage of it and put everything in the dishwasher.
Yeah, but then forgot we had whipped cream.
I also felt sick for days because all I was doing was eating raw cake mix.
I'm not sure raw cake mix is like a thing that you should be eating.
No. Just like the dog should have been eating the egg.
Brilliant. And on that note, thank you so much for watching the Awkward Turkey podcast, Carl.
Adam, if you could go back to your 17-year-old self.
Don't tell him what we picked.
Okay, if you could go back to your 17-year-old self and give yourself some advice, but you can only use 3 words, what would that be?
Oh my
God.
God.
Just while he thinks about it, imagine 38-year-old Adam Westcott breaking the time-space continuum, travelling back to Teignmouth. He's in Dawlish High Street. He's walking down the high street. He's seen 17-year-old Adam Westcott. There's not enough time. He's only got 3 words to say. He can impart any wisdom, but it must be condensed into 3 English words. Adam catches himself in the eye. Oh, it's me, but from the future. What wisdom do you have to impart to me? Older Adam stops, takes a moment, breathes in, and then says,
"Dog, no egg."
I would say, chill out, relax.
Brilliant.
Do you want to know what mine and Carl's were?
Yeah.
Mine was buy Apple stock.
Oh.
Mine was invest in Bitcoin.
I was just about to say that then. I was going to say buy.
No, you weren't, because yours was relax, chillax, fallax.
Basically, you had 3 words, and all 3 of them were the same thing.
Yeah, you could have just used relax.
No, I tell you what, if I could go back and change that, I could say...
You can't now. 17-year-old dad has gone, that was shit advice. Ta-da!
I would say relax, Bitcoin 2009. So you're relaxing and suddenly you're planting an idea. Bitcoin, buy it in 2009. Buy the Bitcoin 2009, hold.
Love everything about that.
Wait, you're telling me that, and I'm 35, and I don't know what it means. Say those 3 words again.
Relax.
Buy Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin 2009, hold. So you'd kind of decrypt that as buying the Bitcoin in 2009 and hold it until March 2020. How can you rephrase that? Bitcoin
supposed to be a bit of fun.
2009, and then say 2020. So you buy it in 2009 and then look to sell it in 2020.
And you think 17-year-old Adam Westcott, who's wandering around the streets of Dawlish in his little shorts, thinking about how he's going to become a Thai boxer, is going to be able to decipher that message?
39-year-old Adam Westcott can't get that fucking sentence out. What makes you think that 17-year-old knows any of the words that you'll say? By 2020, Bitcoin 2009.
No. Bitcoin 2009, 2020. So you'd buy it when it comes out. I would work out that it's coming out. I think, okay, buy it. 2020. Well, that's an important year, so don't do anything until 2020. I'm 38 as well, not 39.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us on this Awkward Turkey podcast. As always, we will be with you next week, 7 o'clock on the dot, unless it's the final of the Euros and we bring the episode forward by 30 minutes. But we've only done that once in the last year, so we're not likely to do it again. Carl, I would like you to say goodbye.
Bye.
And I would also like Adam to give us his final thoughts and to sign off this episode. By the way, leave a comment, review it, like it, share it, please. It makes all the difference. And I've noticed that some of you aren't doing it, so carry on doing it. Adam, sign us off.
If you're a dog and you've got travel sickness, don't eat an egg.
It's quite similar to the phrase I used to end the podcast with. If you're on a bike in the night, wear white.
Neither of them make sense. See you next week at 7. Drop those mics.